Good morning, students. In this video session, we are going to discuss about chemical properties of amino acids. So here in amino acids, we have two functional groups. One is carboxylic acid group and second one is amino group. Here the chemical properties of amino acids can be discussed in three different ways. One is reactions involving amino group, and the second one is reactions involving carboxylic acid group, and the third one is reactions involving both amino group and carboxylic acid group. Let us discuss the first concept, reactions involving amino group. Reactions involving amino group. So here the first reaction is reaction with strong acids. Amino group nature is basic in nature, so that it is reacts with strong acids and it generates corresponding salts. Due to the presence of lone pair of electrons on nitrogen atom, amino acids forms salt with strong inorganic acids. These salts are generally sparingly soluble in water. However, free amino acids may be liberated from these salts by means of strong organic bases like pyridine. For example, here you consider one amino acid, that is CHNH2COH, and it is reacted with HCl, inorganic acid, and it is converted into a salt, NH3 plus Cl minus. So here in this reaction, only the amino group is involved in this reaction. Only amino group is involved in this reaction. Next, the second reaction of amino group involving reactions is alkylation. Alkylation. What is meant by alkylation? Introduction of an alkyl group to the chemical reaction or the chemical reactant is called alkylation reaction. In basic solution of amino acids, in basic solution, the amino group of an amino acid is nucleophilic in nature and can displace the halogen of alkyl halides. Here the amino group nature is basic in nature. That means here the amino group contains lone pair of electrons. That means it acts as a nucleophile. That means it reacts with electrophilic centers. Here all the reactions. Now here the alkylation is electrophilic substitution. That means it is reacted with nucleophile and arylation, acylation, benzylation and nitrosation. All these reactions are electrophilic substitution reaction. That means here amino group is nucleophilic in nature, so that it reacts with good electrophiles. So there in alkylation reaction, the alkyl group is electrophilic in nature. In basic solution, the amino group of an amino acid is nucleophilic in nature and can displace the halogen of an alkyl halide. That means here in alkyl halide X, here halogen is a good nucleophile, that means a good leaving group, and it is cleaved as a X minus, and the alkyl group gets a positive charge. Now the positively charged species is reacted with nucleophilic center, that is amino group NH, to the lone pair of electrons on nitrogen is attacked on R. So it produces N-alkyl derivative. It produces N-alkyl derivative. If large excess of alkyl halide is used, internal quaternary monosalt would be formed. For example, here we have to use 3 moles of methyl iodide. Here in this reaction, we have to use 3 moles of methyl iodide. That means excess of alkyl halide. Then it produces a quaternary ammonium salt. These are called betanes. These salts are having deuterionic character and are known as betanes. So what is meant by betane? So betane means the more electronegative atom has, the more electronegative, that means the compound which is having both positive charge and negative charge. In this, the more electronegative atom gets positive charge and less electronegative gets negative charge. It is called betaine. Now the next reaction is arylation. is the most important reaction. It is the most important reaction, the reaction between amine and 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene. 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene is called Sanger's reagent. 2,4 dinitrobenzene. 2,4 dinitrofluorobenzene is called Sanger's reagent. That means reaction between alpha amino acid with Sanger's reagent is a good reaction for the identification of N-terminal peptidal molecules or N-terminal protein molecules. Here in arylation reaction also, the fluorine is cleaved as a F minus and the benzene ring gets positive charge. Now the lone pair of electrons on nitrogen is attacked on positively charged benzene nucleus, then it forms 2,4 dinitrophenyl derivative. 2,4 dinitrophenyl derivative. So the formation of this reaction indicates the amino group is free in amino acid. The Sanger's reagent is very useful for the identification of N-terminal peptidal molecule. The amino group of both free amino acids and peptide chains will react with the dancyl chloride to yield dancyl amino acid derivative. Here it is also another important chemical reaction for amino group. Here in this reaction also it is dancyl chloride. It is a dancyl chloride, and in this reaction also the chlorine atom is replaced by amino group. That means amino group in alpha amino acid. Here it is the Sanger's reagent and it is the dancyl reagent, dancyl chloride. So these two reactions are very important for the identification of N-terminal amino acid. For the identification of N-terminal amino acid. The dinitrophenyl derivatives are crystalline compounds, and thus this reaction finds use in determining which amino acid of the polypeptide is having a free amino group. Which amino acid is having a polypeptide is having a free amino group. This is the third reaction. For the first reaction is what is the first reaction? Reaction with acid, and the second reaction is alkylation, and third reaction is arylation. That means Sanger's reagent, reaction with Sanger's reagent. What is Sanger's reagent? 2,4 dinitropluorobenzene is called Sanger's reagent, and the another reaction is dancyl chloride with acylating and benzylating reagents. So here acylation or benzylation, both the reactions are produces electrophiles. That means these compounds are generates acylinium ion, benzylinium ion. So these are electrophiles. Now it is reacted with nucleophilic center in amino group with acylating and benzylating agents. With acylate chloride or acetic anhydride or amino acid give an acetylated derivative and acetylated derivative. For example, here in this molecule we have RCHCOO minus NH3. Now it is reacted with acetic anhydride. Now the reaction is occurs at NH group, and it reacts with acetyl group. It reacts with acetyl group. N-acetyl derivative is obtained. Or in place of acetyl chloride, we have to use benzoyl chloride. Then the benzoyl derivative will be obtained. The acylated amino acid does not exist in dipolar form. It is very important point. The acylated amino acid does not exist in dipolar form, and in general it behaves as a typical organic acid. Similarly, with benzyl chloride, amino acid yields benzoyl derivative. For example, glycine reacts with benzyl chloride in presence of base. It gives benzoyl glycine. It is called hippuric acid. This hippuric, I discussed this concept in the preparation of amino acids. Amino acids. The azolactone is prepared from this hippuric acid. What is meant by hippuric acid? Glycine is on benzylation reaction. We will get N-benzoylated glycine. The N-benzoylated glycine is called hippuric acid. And the next chemical reaction is reaction with nitrous acid. Nitrous acid means HNO2. Now amino acid is reacted with HNO2, then amino acid is converted into a hydroxy acid. Hydroxy acid. That means here R NH. Here R means the remaining side chain. That means carbon and carboxylic acid group. Now it is reacted with nitrous acid HNO2. That means OH and N double bonded O. Then it is converted into a diazonium salt. Diazonium salt. That means R N double bond. Triple bond N positive charge and Cl minus. Now it is cleaved as a N2 gas and the carbon chain gets positively charged. Now the positively charged species is reacted with OH minus, so that produces hydroxy carboxylic acids. So alpha amino acids are converted into hydroxy carboxylic acids when alpha amino acids are reacted with nitrous acid. When nitrous acids are reacted with alpha amino acids, then they are produce alpha hydroxy carboxylic acids. So this is the most important reaction. The amino acids of proline and hydroxyproline do not react and the amino group of lysine reacts but at a slower rate. In proline we have only one NH bond, and in hydroxyproline also we have only NH bond. That means here it does not possible to eliminate N2 gas, so that in proline and hydroxyproline we cannot observe this reaction. So this is the structure of proline, and if we have to put a one hydroxy group at third position, then we can get a hydroxyproline. So proline and hydroxyproline does not undergo reaction with nitrous acid. And the next reaction is reaction with nitrosyl chloride. So in place of nitrous acid, now they are reacted with nitrosyl chloride. NO, it is the structure of nitrous acid and it is the structure of nitrosyl chloride. When alpha amino acids are reacted with nitrous acid, then it leads to formation of alpha hydroxy compound. That means the group which is attached to NO, and again now it is alpha amino acid is treated with nitrosyl chloride. Now the chlorine which is attached to nitrogen is attacked on alpha position with the carboxylic acid. That means it produces alpha hydroxy carboxylic acid. That means alpha aminocarboxylic acid is on treatment with nitrosyl chloride, then it produces alpha chlorocarboxylic acids, and alpha amino acids is on treatment with nitrosyl bromide, then it leads to formation of alpha bromocarboxylic acids, alpha hydroxy carboxylic, alpha bromocarboxylic acids. And the next reaction is deamination. What is meant by deamination? The amino group is removed as a ammonia. When amino acids are treated with when amino acids are reacted with hydroiodic acid, when amino acids are reacted with hydroiodic acid at 200 degrees centigrade, the amino group is eliminated in these amino acids to form fatty acids. The compound contains both amino and carboxylic acid group is called amino acids. Now one of the amino group is removed as a amine. One of the amine group is removed as a ammonia, then it contains only one carboxylic acid group, so that we get a fatty acid. An amino acid may be also converted into a keto acid by reaction with hydroperoxide. It is an oxidation reaction. Amino acid is reacted with hydroperoxide, that means hydrogen peroxide H2O2, then we get alpha hydroxy carboxylic acid. We produce alpha hydroxy carboxylic acids. These are the 7 reactions involving amino group. So let us revise all these reactions. The first reaction is reaction with nitrous acid. Reaction with acid. And the second reaction is alkylation. Third reaction is arylation. The next reaction is estylation or benzylation. And the next reaction is reaction with nitrous acid and reaction with nitrosyl chloride, and followed by deamination reaction, followed by hydroxylation with H2O2. So all these reactions amino group is involved, but carboxylic acid group does not affected. Now we can move into the next one, that is reactions involving carboxylic group, reactions involving carboxylic group. So reactions involving carboxylic acid. Here in the first, the reactions involving amino group, the first reaction is reaction with acid, because the amino group is basic in nature. Here in these reactions, the first reaction is reaction with alkali, that means base, because the carboxylic acid is acidic in nature, so that it forms a salt with strong basic conditions, so that amino acids react with alkali to form salts. Amino acids reacts with alkali conditions to form salts. NH3, for example, you have to consider glycine, and it is upon treatment with sodium hydroxide, then it produces a corresponding sodium salt. So this is the first reactions involving carboxylic acid. And carboxylic acid is reacts with heavy metals. Amino acids forms chelating compounds with the salts of heavy metals. Here copper salts of glycine is formed by heating copper oxide with an aqueous solution of glycine. Amino acids form chelating compounds with salts of heavy metals. Here this is the chelating complex with the copper oxide. This is the second reaction involved by carboxylic acid. And the third reaction is reaction with alcohol. Already we know that the carboxylic acid is reactive with alcohol, then it produces corresponding ester. Here amino acids such as glycine does not yield esters on heating with alcohols and a little sulfuric acid, so that glycine does not undergo reaction with alcohol, but on the other hand the remaining amino acids dissolves in anhydrous alcohol, then it produces corresponding esters. So here this is a reaction. Here we have one amino acid and it is reacted with HCl, get a chlorinated derivative, that means salt, which is on treatment with alcohol, then it forms corresponding ester salt. Esters of amino acids may be reduced to amino alcohols by means of sodium and ethyl alcohol, so that it is the separate reaction, that is called reduction. So esters is on reduction reaction, it produces corresponding alcohols. With reducing agents, amino acids can be reduced to corresponding alcohols. Can be reduced to corresponding amino alcohols by reduction with lithium aluminum hydride. Because carboxylic esters is on reduction reaction with sodium and ethyl alcohol, or carboxylic acids or carboxylic esters is on reduction reaction with lithium aluminum hydride, then the compounds are converted into corresponding alcohols. Now here also alpha amino acid having both amino group and carboxylic acid group. So in the reduction reaction only carboxylic acid is undergo reduction reaction, so that the carboxylic acid group is converted into a corresponding alcohol, formation of acid chloride. See these are the derivatives of carboxylic acids, that means ester, acid, amide and acid chloride. All these are acid derivatives. How can we prepare acid chlorides? When the treatment with sodium, carboxylic acid is upon treatment with thionyl chloride, then it leads to formation of acid chloride. Now how can we prepare acid chloride? So the carboxylic acid is upon treatment with thionyl chloride or PCl5. Now the amino acid is upon treatment with PCl5, then it is converted into acid chloride. The conversion of an amino acid into corresponding acid chlorides is a quite difficult process, because the direct treatment of amino acids with PCl5 and associated etc. fails to give the chlorides. So due to that we have to convert that carboxylic acid into corresponding protected amino group, because here the amino group is present. So due to that we have to protect the amino group before going to reaction with PCl5 or thionyl chloride. So due to the presence of amino group, because here PCl5 and associate or acts as a Lewis acid, so that maybe the amino group is reacted with that PCl5 and associate, so that here the chemical reaction does not occur at carboxylic acid, the chemical reaction is occurs at amino group, so that our aim is we have to done the chemical reaction at carboxylic acid. That means the carboxylic acid is converted into acid chloride, that means amino group is protected first, and after the protected amino acid we have to done reaction with PCl5. So this is the important information students, important reactions of carboxylic acid. And the next chemical reaction is decarboxylation. As like deamination, carboxylation, decarboxylation is the important reaction. Now alpha amino acid is on deamination reaction, it gives corresponding carboxylic acid, and alpha amino acid is on deamination reaction, is on decarboxylation reaction, it contains only one amino group, so that it produces a corresponding amine. Amino acids may be decarboxylated by heating acids, barium oxide or specific enzymes to yield corresponding amines. So this is the important reaction, friends. So these are the reactions involved by carboxylic acid. So let us revise in a simple manner. See here, reactions involving carboxylic acid is reaction with alkali and reaction with heavy metals and reaction with alcohols and reaction with acid chlorides and reduction reaction. Carboxylic acid undergo reduction with lithium aluminum hydride and sodium in ethyl alcohol. And the final reaction is decarboxylation reaction. And the final reaction is the final type of reactions is reactions involving both carboxylic and amino groups. So the first important reaction is action of heat. This action of heat is very important for the identification of alpha amino acid from beta and beta amino acid from gamma amino acid. By using this action of heat, we can differentiate alpha amino acid from beta, beta to gamma. Because alpha amino acid is on heating, it produces diketoperoxine, that means a cyclic diamide. That means it produces a cyclic diamide. It produces a cyclic diamide. That means here it is one amino acid and it is a second amino acid. So two alpha amino acids are reacted with one another in the presence of heating, leads to formation of diamide. This is one amide functional group. This is one amide functional group, and this is the second amide functional group. So that it is produces a diamide and it is cyclic in nature. So that it produces a cyclic diamide. That means alpha amino acids is on heating reaction, it produces a diamide. Action of heat on amino acids is used for the distinguish the different types of amino acids. So first one is reaction with action of heating on alpha amino acids. So beta amino acids is on heating, it produces deamination, that means alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acids. And action of heat is on gamma amino acid. Gamma amino acid is on gamma and delta amino acids is on heating, T is a cyclic amides cyclic amides are called lactams. Here these are the reactions. This is the gamma amino acid and it produces gamma lactam, and it is delta amino acid and produces delta lactam. So this is the most important reaction for the differentiation of alpha amino acid from beta, beta amino acid from gamma. Because alpha amino acid is on heating, it produces a cyclic diamide. Beta amino acid is on heating, it produces alpha beta unsaturated carboxylic acid. And gamma amino acid is on heating, it produces a cyclic diamide that is called lactam. So these are the different products from different amino acids. So based on the formation of product, we can identify the presence of which amino acid present in our organic molecule. That means whether it is alpha or beta or gamma. And the second important reaction, that means here both amino group and carboxylic acid involved in reactions. The second reaction is isocyanate, reaction with isocyanate. So in preparation method, we will discuss about the formation. We will discuss about one preparation, that is from hydantoin. From hydantoin, we prepare one amino acid molecule. That means aromatic amino acids, especially phenylalanine or tyrosine or thyroxine, all the amino acids are prepared from hydantoin. So when alpha amino acid is reacted with phenyl isocyanate, then we will observe the formation of hydantoin. So this is the mechanism. In this reaction mechanism, both the amino group and carboxylic acid, both the functional groups are involved. Here in the first step, amino group is involved in chemical reaction. In the second step, in the fourth step, I think, in this step the carboxylic acid is involved in chemical reactions. That means in this chemical reaction of formation of hydantoin, both the amino group and carboxylic acid are involved in chemical reaction. The third important chemical reaction is reaction with ninhydrin. Reaction with ninhydrin. So ninhydrin is a indane 1, 2, 3 trione. Indane 1, 2, 3 trione. So amino acid is on treatment with ninhydrin. It yields a permanent, that means blue color solution. Here the mechanism is like this. The ninhydrin reaction is useful for the identification of amino acid. That means whether the compound contains amino acid or not, then we can just add ninhydrin molecule, then it is converted into a permanent blue color, then the molecule contains amino acid molecule. Otherwise it does not contain any amino acid molecule. Here it is the mechanism involved in the formation of a blue color solution. So here it is the ninhydrin, the diketone. Here the keto group. Here the keto group is represented as a dihydroxy derivative because of the removal of H2O molecule. So now the formed compound is again reacted with another mole of ninhydrin. So 2 moles of ninhydrin is involved in the reaction, so that it produces a permanent blue color complex. The blue color of the solution is due to the formation of this compound. So due to the formation of this compound, the compound exhibits a permanent blue color. So these are the 3 important reactions involving both amino group and carboxylic acid. So for both amino group and carboxylic acid group, we have 3 important reactions. One is reaction with ninhydrin, and the second one is reaction with phenyl isocyanate, and the first one is action of heat. These are the 3 important reactions for formation of ninhydrin. For the reactions involving both amino group and carboxylic acid group. Thank you friends. Thank you students. In the next session we are going to discuss about peptides and synthesis of peptides and classification of peptides.